Hi everyone, how's it going? I'm Desiree, and what I have for you today is a Vinyasa flow where we're going to be moving towards Bird of Paradise. So if you're not familiar with it, you're going to have to make a little reminder of to do a little Google search. But the pose actually does really look like the plant. Unfortunately, being in Hawaii, I'm not anywhere near that plant at the moment, but they are scattered all over the island. Maybe I'll get you one next time. But what you'll need for this practice is a strap or strap-like object. So that could also be like a t-shirt, a kitchen towel, just as long as the object has no give, no flexibility whatsoever. We need that resistance to work with us today. And other than that, if you want to have some blocks, by all means grab them, but let's start to make our way to, actually we can just stay here. So go ahead and take your arms out to a T, right? And first I just want you to play with some internal and external rotation, right? So all of the movement is going to drive from the upper arm bone to turn the arm bone all the way out away from the midline of the body, so the palms reach up and back, right? And then come for that internal rotation where the arm bones turn all the way in, right? So the palms now cruise and face behind us. So just pay attention to moving the arms, isolating the movement of the arms from the rest of the body. You can close your eyes. You can keep the gaze soft, right? But just do find a few moments to really get into these movements, into your body, and into your practice. Bird of Paradise involves a lot of opening. So, like I said, just dive in, right? Be as in your body as you most possibly can, and just only paying attention to that. All right, next time that your arms or your hands are facing up, right, lift the arms up overhead so you bring them into a V shape. All right, we're gonna find that internal rotation, right, and then we're gonna bring the arms back on a slight diagonal, right, as if we're holding a block behind us, right, and then we're gonna flip the arms again, right, flip the palms for that external rotation, take it up to a V. All right, so just alternate a few rounds like this. Take your time going slow. You don't need to go at the same pace that I am. And also feel free to take any other movements or additions to these movements that feel good to you. And then the next time that the arms are down back behind you, right, keep them there, right? So take a moment to really like re-extend, re-reach. Right? And if you notice, right, my shoulders, right, they start to move away from the midline, right, and the sides of the chest rise. It's going to be a big thing in this class today. All right, so I want you to bend the elbows, right, and then just bring one arm in front of the other as best as you can, right, and then we're just going to play with straightening and then changing the crossing. Right, so we're just bringing one arm in front of the other, right, and you don't have to have the full extension. It could be like hands in front of each other, wherever's most comfortable for you. But try and keep that chest lifted. And then whichever arm is in front of the other, I want you to just pause there and grab onto either the forearms, the elbows, again, wherever your range of motion takes you, and allow your arms to rest on the back body. Right, so now bring your attention to your hips, right, your pelvis, right, find that more neutral pelvis, right, and I want you to, again, re-extend through the chest, so take the heads of the shoulders away from the midline. So now we lift a bit more up and outward through the chest. Right. And probably around the area where your arms are, right? If they're in this lower back rib area, think of these back ribs coming in towards the chest. Straighten the arms, we'll switch the crossing. Right, relax the arms onto the body, and then just recheck in with the hips, the chest. And close your eyes. All right, go ahead and straighten the arms. All right, and shake it out. All right, we're gonna take the arms up overhead, right? Grab onto your strap. We're gonna come into Gomukasana arms, right? So if you know you need the strap to interlace the hands, then by all means have it. Bring it into the right hand, right? And then lift both arms up over the head. Right. Bend the right elbow, use the left fingertips to walk the skin up above the armpit all the way up to the elbow, right? Just to help coax this arm down a little more, right? And then take that left arm, right? We want to find the internal rotation, press the arm back, and either grab the strap, your fingers, your hair, you know, whatever you have back there to hold on to. All right, go ahead and straighten the right arm. Bring the left arm to meet the right. Switch hands that the strap is in, and then bend the left elbow, right? Walk that skin up towards the elbow, right? And then on the right arm, internal rotation, press it back, and then grab whatever you can find to connect. Straighten the left arm, straighten the right arm. Take the arms down by your sides. Shake it out, do whatever you need to do. Right, and then just place that belt down by your on the side of your mat, easily accessible. We'll pick that back up in just a few moments. Move forward to the front of your mat, arrive in Tadasana. As you arrive in your Tadasana, I want you to stand with intention, right? Think of getting taller, longer in both directions, going up and down. I want you to reach the arms back, have the palms face each other, interlace the hands. Pull the wrists apart so just the fingers are interlaced. Right, and then I want you to start to fold forward. But as you fold, right, before you actually even get down, I want you to think of this long line rooting all the way down from the inner arch of the foot all the way up to the pelvic floor, right? So at this point, legs should be engaged. Right, now we're gonna move into that forward fold, right, with that whole lift on that inner line of the legs. All right, come halfway. And then exhale all the way, fold. You're going to bend through the right knee, right? I want you to twist the trunk over to the left, right? So the left leg stays straight. And then go ahead and untwist, come back to center, to that halfway lift. All right, bend through the left knee, right? And then twist the trunk over to the right. Right, untwist, come back to center. All right, release the hands, take them down to the floor or to your blocks. Uttanasana. All right. Bend the knees, come up to chair. Right. Hug the outer hips in, right? So think of the outer hips hugging in and even like wrapping back, right? So almost like the tailbone presses a little more forward, or you have a little more space on the fronts of the hips, right? And then sit a little deeper through the knees and the ankles. All right, shift your weight onto your right foot. I want you to find that line of lift and hug that right outer hip in. We're gonna take a big, strong, slow step back to a high lunge. All right, sweep this right arm down and back behind you, open up for a twist. Untwist, come back to center, take the hands down, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank pose. Right, and I'm going to give you the option here to lower to the ground in one piece or take the knees down first. Your choice, but lower down in one piece so the whole back body is in neutral. Go ahead, lift halfway. or lift up for cobra. Exhale, fold. Refine that neutral in the body, and then either lift up to all fours or straight up to plank. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up. So I want you to lift from the inner thigh, right? And with this leg lifted, let's pay attention to the foot for a moment. So reach out through the heel, right? And then press out through the big toe ball mound, right? So this would be a floint. All right, draw the knee in, right? Step the foot in between the hands. Right, take the back knee down, sweep the arms up. All right, from here, I want you to keep the head in line with the arms and then just bring these bottom ribs in towards the chest so you come into a little back bend, right? It can be really small. All right, go ahead, come back up. All right, lift the back knee. Reach forward, step forward, chair. All right, so this is going to be your sun salutation. Exhale, dive and fold forward. A little hefty, we got a lot of work to do. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. He concurs. All right, shift your weight over to the left foot. All right, find that line, hug the outer hip in. Right. Step it back to a high lunge. All right, sweep that left arm back behind you. Twist open. Sweep the arms up, untwist, hands to the ground. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right, inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, find that neutral in the spine and make your way down to the ground. Inhale, up for cobra. Exhale, down. Press back up. And then exhale back to dog. All right, lift from the inner thigh. Right, floint the foot. Right, if you missed it the first time, we have that flex, so reach out through the heel and then press out through the big toe ball mound. Draw the knee in, step the foot in between the hands. Drop the back knee. You can keep those toes tucked, right, and then lift up with the arms. Keep the head in line with the arms. Take that baby back bend, so back bottom ribs come in towards the front body. And then bring it up. Lift the back knee. Step forward to chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, chair pose. All right. Step the left foot back, high lunge. All right, sweep it open for a twist. And then lift the arms up, untwist, hands to the ground. Exhale, dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Right, now you can stay taking the first version, or you can move through a chaturanga, which would be a low plank, right? And then roll up and over for an upward facing dog. So your choice of a back bend, either cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale back, downward facing dog. Lift from the inner thigh. Step the foot forward. Take the knee down. Sweep the arms up. Find that baby back bend. And then bring it up. Lift the back knee. Right, now we're going to transition into that chair. Exhale, dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. All right. step it back, high lunge. All right. Sweep and twist it open. Untwist. Hands down. Down dog. Inhale forward to plank. And again, your choice of your back bend. You want to stick with cobra or take it to an upward facing dog, or Gomukasana. And then exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. All right. Lift the left leg. Step it forward. Drop the back knee. Right. Lift it up. And then take it back. And come back up. Lift the knee. Right. Hug that outer hip in. Come back to chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend through the knees. Come back to chair. Sit a little deeper by bending through the ankles and the knees. And then press down through the feet. Hug the outer hips in. Tadasana. Take 3 deep breaths here. Slow and steady. All right, go ahead and open up your eyes. All right, grab your strap. All right, just place the strap or your strap-like object around your neck for now. All right, and you can stay up at the top of your mat if you'd like, but I'm just gonna move over here so you can see. All right, so we're gonna move into a tree pose. All right, but we're gonna start on the right side. So shift your weight onto the right, right? So find that long line of lift, right? Hug that right outer hip in, draw the left knee up. So before we actually go into tree, we're just gonna play with circles, right? Of this internal and external rotation. First going one way. So it's just the leg that's moving in the hip socket. And we're gonna slow this down, right? So when you make those circles, right, start in neutral, right? And then we're gonna start to take the leg out away from the midline, right? And then think of even like wrapping this whole underneath, under the thigh, like back, right? So make your circle like that way. Try that. Just see if you feel any differences. Right. And then we're going to reverse, go the opposite way. Your circles can be as big or as small as you need them to be in order to make that full range of motion. All right. Go ahead and bring the leg down. All right, we're going to shift sides. Right, so shift on over to the left side, find that lift, hug that outer hip in. Right, draw the knee up. Right, and then start in neutral, and then find that twisting, that twirling, that wrapping of the inner thigh going back. Way more open on this side. And then go the opposite direction. And then bring that leg back to center. All right. Shift your weight onto the right foot. Find the lift, find the hug. Right, draw the knee up. All right, same thing. This time we're actually gonna come into the tree, right? So find that lift, that spiral, and then plant the foot. Right. Hug the outer hips in, right? And as the hips hug in, think of them also like pressing forward, so the fronts of the hips open. Lift up through the sides of the chest, and then just kind of find a place mentally, right, where you can just kind of focus, go inside, concentrate. Go ahead and pull the foot off the thigh, bring it back, step it down. And second side. And so shift your weight over. You're gonna find that spiral, that turning out, right? To find that external rotation, right? And then plant the leg or foot on the leg. Hug the outer hips in, right? Think of hugging out and wrapping in to press that middle buttocks forward, so fronts of the hips open. Find your focus, your concentration. Pull the foot off the thigh, bring it back, step it down. All right. Come back to the front of your mat. Right. All right. So shift your weight onto your right foot. All right. Go ahead and lift the left leg up. All right. So you want to find this like 90-degree angle. All right. We're going to take our strap. We're going to place it around the ball mound of the big toe. All right. And take the straps in the left hand, right hand on the hip. All right. I want you to press out through the heel on both feet, right? So even though one leg is up in the air, one leg is standing, feet are going to be doing the same thing. So press out through the heel to straighten the leg. Right? And then just press forward through the big toe ball mound. Right. Draw this left arm back into its socket, right? And then lift through the sides of the chest. Bend the knee, release the foot, step it down. Right. Plant the strap around your neck, and then take a big step back with that right foot. Right. Stay up in your high lunge. Take your hands onto your hips, right? We're just gonna check in here for a moment, right? And look down, right? So think of having both hips on the same plane. So right hip or left hip slightly comes back. Maybe the right hip slightly needs to come forward, right? Press out through that back heel. All right. If you feel wobbly or if you need to take your stance wider, by all means do it. We're gonna come into a warrior one, right? So modify where you need to in your feet, in your stance. All right, go ahead and lie that entire inner line of the foot down on the ground, right? So that the whole outer edge of the foot is lifted. So by now the foot's at more of like a 45. All right. Now think of like spreading glue or like spreading some kind of like cream, right? You're gonna lay that whole foot down starting from that inner line of the edge till you seal the outer edge of the foot. Right, and then lift up through the inner edge of the foot and allow that lift to ride all the way up through the crown. Take the arms up overhead, right, and then bring those back ribs into the front of the body. Head in line with the arms. Take the gaze up to follow the hands. And then bring the arms down. Right, step it forward. Whew. All right, second side. All right, so shift your weight into the left foot. Right, we're gonna come to that Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana on the left now. So draw the right knee up. Right, take the strap around the right big toe ball mound and both of the tails in the right hand. All right, press out through both heels, right, and then press out through the big toe ball mound on both feet. Right, draw that right arm back, right, so the shoulder blade comes in towards the chest. Lift through the sides of the chest. Go ahead and release the foot, step it down, and then take that big step back with that left foot. All right, find your high lunge, check in with the hips, right? We want that even plane. All right. bring that whole inner line or inner edge of the foot down, right? And then we're gonna spread it out to seal that outer edge, right? And then we're gonna lift through the inner arch all the way up through the crown. Take the arms up, right? Bring those back ribs into the front body. Look up towards the sky or your hands. Take the hands down. Right, step it forward. Tadasana. I'm a little sweaty, not gonna lie. All right, go ahead and just take your strap down to the ground. All right, I'm gonna casually circle the arms up towards the sky. All right, dive and fold forward. Bring the hands to the ground, and then come down on your seat. Right, keep the knees bent, feet on the floor. Right, and then bring that strap on the fronts of your ankles. Right, and then just bring the tails back towards your hands, or like up towards your face. Right. All right, go ahead and make your way down onto your back. Oops. All right. Walk your feet in. All right. And then find that neutral spine, right? So the pelvis, when you're in neutral, right, you'll have a little less of a gap in between your low back and the floor, right? And then lift and extend through the back of the head. All right. Walk your hands down the tails of your strap. All right. We want to think taut, right? So now we're creating a container with the body. Right, so we're gonna press up into bridge. So instead of we're gonna think of pressing into this shape, right? As if we're like pressing into these edges, if that makes sense. Right, so we're gonna press and expand like into this shape that we have like with our arms connected to our feet. And so evenly press down through the feet, lift the hips at the same time, right? Press the upper arms down. You can even walk them in slightly towards each other and under the chest. Right. And that action of the outer hips hugging in and wrapping like in so that the inner buttocks presses up towards the sky. That's what I want you to find here. Very slowly, I want you to roll down the back. Make your way onto your sacrum, still in neutral. Roll onto your side. Press yourself up to sit. Take a moment to pause. Right, integrate being back upright. Take a deep breath. All right. So let's make our way up to stand with our strap. It's party time. All right. So like I said, we're going to be working on Bird of Paradise. So there's a lot of things going on. It's first of all, it's a balancing pose, right? And there's asymmetry going on. So we're standing on one leg is externally rotated. We have a bind, and at the same time, as we're really kind of like tight and confined and within these bounds of our own body, we have to find a way to expand and lift through. So follow along with me the best you can. Most of all, have fun. All right. We can fall and laugh together. All right, so we're gonna start with the feet wider than the hips, right? And just to have fun with it, I'm gonna call it like an Ardha Utkatasana, right? A half chair. So I want you to think of chair, right? Get real square, right? But I want you to think of being like halfway lifted also, right? So that the belly even lays down on the thighs. So we need to get close so we can really start to like wrap our body in. So I'm just gonna come on a slight angle here, so hopefully you can see better, right? So in this, this like Ardha Utkatasana that we're in, right? I'm just making things up, right? We have to start to twist the trunk in order to get in a little closer, right? So we're gonna bring this whole left arm into the inner left thigh, right? And this is where we're gonna find that internal rotation, right? So the upper arm bone's gonna twist in so that the hands can come back around. All right, your strap's gonna go in the right hand. Right, and we're gonna take that arm into internal rotation also. So the upper arm bone turns in, press back, right, reach around, and then grab onto the strap. If you can reach your hands, amazing, but if not, here we are. So it's important, right, to keep this strap taut and to have this arm pressing into the leg pressing into the arm. It's really gonna help give support when finding the balance. So from here, right, we're gonna shift our weight onto our right foot. I want you to find that lift before you even take air, right, before that left foot even comes up off the ground. So find that lift from the inner edge of the foot all the way up to the pelvic floor, right, and then shift your weight, right. So as you shift your weight, hug that right outer hip in, right, and then think of that line drawing up the leg, right, to lift yourself up. Keep the standing leg bent. All right, you can stay crouched and low. We're gonna come into finding that external rotation of the leg, right? So that leg needs to spiral out. And then let's bring it up into the chest, right? We need to push these heads of the shoulder blades away from the midline so our chest, our heart can shine. Right. So if you can play with straightening the leg, I don't have the range of motion, right? But if you're there, right, I want you to press out through the heel first, right? Lift and extend the leg, press out through the heel, right? And then press out through the big toe ball mound so the toe is pointed, right? And then go back to the feet, right? Go back to that strong line in the leg, the outer hip hugging in, the middle buttocks pressing forward, all the things to just make us open up. And then to come back down, right? We're gonna start to crouch, come into a ball, right? Return to that, or a little less of a ball. We don't want to round so much, but come back to that Ardha Uttanasana, or that Ardha Utkatasana pose that I made up. Unbind, bring yourself up. All right, second side. All right. So find that fake pose that I came up with. Sure, I'm not the only one that said this before. Get in real close on that right side of the body, right? Find that internal rotation, right? All right, take that left arm, right? Find the internal rotation there, and then bring the strap to meet or the hands to meet. Choke up on the strap, right? Press that right arm into the thigh, the right leg into the arm as well, right? So the arms and leg are like Batman and Robin. All right. Shift your weight, right? Find that line of lift in the leg, hug the outer hip in, and then start to rise with that long line in the inner leg. All right. Find that external rotation, so spiral the thigh out and away from the midline. Right, and then bring the attention up to the chest, so press the heads of the shoulders away from the midline. I bet you guys look awesome. All right, if you're gonna go for the straight leg, press out through the heel. Right, and then flank through the foot. And then go back to the foot of the standing leg, right? Find that line of lift, hug the outer hip in, press all the things to open up. And then to come back down, we're gonna crouch, get low, bring it back down. Unbind. Halfway lift, and then exhale, fold and round, right? Bend the knees so greatly that you just squat down and round over yourself. Close your eyes, turn into your breath. Okay, so now we're gonna start to shift the mood and come down. All right. So I want you to find a wide-legged child's pose. Right, so big toes touching. Knees as wide as just the sides of the trunk. So we're gonna take it easy on the shoulders and the arms, right? So bend the elbows and then just rest the arms on the ground. Right. Get really heavy in the hips. Right. Send all the weight back in the hips. You can even like give a slight push of the hands on the floor. And I know I'm like very flexible in this pose, right? So if you need a blanket under your seat, right, under the knees, the backs of the knees, or on the tops of the thighs, whatever you can do to create some support so you can rest here. Close the eyes, go back into the breath. Walk the hands down by your sides, and then just flip the palms and rest the arms down by your legs. Take the hands onto the floor. Right, roll yourself up. Swing your legs forward. Come onto your seat. Take it down to the floor, onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest, right? Don't even grab your legs. Just allow the legs to heavy on their own. Close your eyes, focus on the breath. Because as you deepen the breath and as you get relaxed in the body, the legs will heavy themselves naturally and the legs will get closer down. Take your hands onto your shins. Right, and then don't even tug. Just allow the arms to rest on the legs and let gravity do the work. Again, move back into the breath. Just focus on that. Take the feet to the ground. If you can stay for a few moments, go ahead and straighten the legs. I want everyone, wherever you are, place their hands on their belly. Take 3 really deep breaths, full breaths, like all the way down into the belly. And on your exhale, I want your exhales to be soft, long, and audible. So inhale deeply. Exhale, sigh it out. One more. So like I said, if you could stay in shavasana, stay and rest. If you have to come up with me, roll onto your side and pause. Use your arm as a pillow for support. Press your hand into the ground, sit yourself up. Take a moment to pause here. Integrate being back upright. Place your hands somewhere on your body that feels good to you. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and open up your eyes. Again, my name is Desiree. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. Most of all, if you have any comments, questions, feedback, please, by all means, I would love to hear from you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you.